All right, so this is a brief introduction to my senior capstone project, which I call Bright Tech Solutions. Now, there are many companies out there whose main priority is maintaining and improving upon their brand, and there are many services out there that do help companies achieve that very goal. And because of that, the main purpose of this project is to simulate one of those companies by providing other companies with a range of services that will allow them to receive the help they need in order to improve their brand in a number of technical ways. So now I will just give a brief overview of the general layout of the web application. So when users first open the website, they will notice that through the navigation bar, the website is split into 6 primary sections. So first and foremost, there is the home page, which is what users will see when they first open the application, and this will be used to provide a brief insight on the main purpose of the application and the company, what their goal is. Next, we have the About tab, which will go into the brief history of Bright Tech Solutions, as well as covering some frequently asked questions that previous users have had in the past in hopes of encouraging new users to learn more about the company through others. Next, we have the Services tab, which will be used to describe the four main services that the companies can choose from in receiving help. And those services include IT management, sustainable tech consulting, cybersecurity and risk management, and UX/UI design. After that, we have the contact page, and this is where users can ask or send in any further comments that they may have that probably were not answered in the FAQ section. And how that will work is that users will enter their email as well as their comment, and that information will get saved into a database so that it can be answered at a later time. After that, we have the Get Started section, and this is where app users can actually sign up for the service. So once they click on this page, they'll be presented with the 3 different pricing plans, standard, premium, and deluxe, that they can choose from. And once they click Get Started, they will be prompted to the actual sign-in form to create their account. And then finally, we have the login section. So one of the main goals of this application is that once users sign up for the application, their information will be saved in a database. And once they want to log back into that account, that information from the database can be retrieved to authenticate their attempt to sign into their account. If it is successful, they'll be able to let in. If not, they will receive some type of error message and be prompted to try again. So now I just want to give a brief overview of the tech stack of the application. So first, we have Visual Studio Code as the IDE, and that will use Vite, React, which implements JSX, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS files to create the application's front end. And this is in terms of the styling, the different pages, the components, such as like the navigation bar and the footer, as well as all of the imagery present on the application. Next, we have AWS, which will handle the back end of the application. And this will use services such as S3 to store the files of the application's front end, an API gateway, which will serve as the connectivity between the front end and the back end of the application, the Lambda function, which will process the information it receives from the API gateway, and then finally, the RDS database will store the information that was processed by the Lambda function. And then after that, we have Google Gemini, which will be used to power an AI chatbot, which will be implemented so that users can ask any questions they may have about the 4 services that are offered. And that will be done by using a Gemini API key. So now I just want to give a brief overview of what the application actually looks like. So in order to do this, we type in npm run dev, click on the link, go back here, and this is what the homepage looks like as of right now. It's still bare, but it will just give a brief description of what the application will do. Then we have the About section, which goes through the history, like I said, and the frequently asked questions. The services will cover the 4 different technical services that the company provides. Then we have the contact form where users can answer any questions or comments they may have. And then we have Get Started, which presents the 3 different pricing plans as well as their benefits. So I'll just click on a random one. We'll click on Premium. And this is what the sign up form looks like as of right now. When you actually click sign up, it will not take you anywhere because there's no back end of the application right now, but ideally it would take you to the dashboard for your account. And then finally, we have the login form, which has the same idea as a sign up form. You just have to enter your email and your password, and you'll be directed to your company's dashboard.